Hey, Sean here. I wanted to take some time to walk through some UI improvement that I made to Myelin, the browser game that I've been working on. I've been aiming to simplify some parts of the UI lately, and part of that means simplifying the icons that I'm using for various things. Let me show you what I mean. I decided I wanted to make icons for all of the stats that the characters have in the game. And originally they all were 32 by 32 full color icons like this. And while these look fine, I'm not all that great of an artist. And honestly, some of the damage type icons looked kind of trash. So I thought, let me simplify this a bit and just make some 16 by 16 1-bit icons. And I decided to use SVG images for that. Why SVG? We'll find out in a couple minutes, but basically it allows for a lot of flexibility when you're dealing with a web UI. So I used Sprite to create the 1-bit icons. Here's one I'm adding to represent toxin damage. It's just kind of a skull and crossbones. Again, it's 16 by 16. It's a single color. I just used white while drawing the icons. And then I actually use a feature of most modern browsers to color them with CSS. So we'll show that in just a second. So I go ahead and I make this and I save the SVG file in my project. So if I look it up in my IDE, I have toxin symbol simple. This is the SVG markup for that image. It's not too long of a file. And so what I've been doing is I will take this SVG icon, and to make it a little more flexible, instead of just putting it in an image tag in the HTML, I'm putting it in inline HTML inside of a Vue file. I'm using Vue.js for this project. You can do the same exact thing in React, in other JavaScript frameworks, or plain HTML. You can just have the SVG inline like this. So I do this, I put it in a template tag, which is a Vue feature. Paste it there. And then I see here it's specifying the fill as white. And so what I want to do is select all the fills for all of the pixels in my image and delete those so that I can overwrite them with CSS. And so now I have this inlined icon, and then I have a higher order component that I just call simple icon that I'm using for these 16 by 16 SVG icons. And I'm going ahead and I'm just importing these icons into here. I'm creating a map of the icon name to the icon components. Again, you can do this more or less the same way if you're using React or whatever else. Similar stuff for like HTML. You can have it kind of inlined and have some kind of switch statement going on. And I can pass the name of the damage type into this component as a property, and it will kind of choose which of these components to show using something in Vue called a dynamic component. I have a class here, simple icon, so that I can add styling to it. I can have styling here, which I do. Or I can also override these styles from the parent component if I want to. So here we have a simple component. I deleted all the fills in the SVG file that were inlined. And here I'm setting the fill to be the current color. What that's going to mean is that it'll be whatever color, whatever the font color is set to in the parent component, it will pick up on it. So it'll pick up on the parent component's color and just use that for the SVG fill. That's exactly what we want. And then I have the font size, height, and width all set to match the large font size. So you can see here that ends up being, the same font size and the same font color as the text label for the icon. So everything is kind of jiving really nicely there. Same over here, as you can see. We'll take a look at that parent component. Here we have the resistance bar. in the parent component, this is basically a list of those damage types and the character's resistance to it. And I'm styling this div, giving it the color that we get from the damage type. And I'm actually sending the damage type color from the server side to the UI when the player logs in. And the main trick I kind of wanted to show was this current color setting in CSS to be able to colorize SVG icons and get that kind of nice 1-bit color-coded style. There's a lot more you can do with that current color kind of trick, but it's nice if you have an icon that you want to show inline with text and have it be the same size and color as the text. So you have that nice association there. I'm probably going to take that same idea and expand it to like when you're in combat and you have the text over here that's like so-and-so does 4 crushing damage, have it color code that and show the icon in line. Same thing when you're looking at items and you're trying to look at the damage type. Here you can see I have it maybe color coded, but I don't have the icon there yet, still in progress. So lots of work to do, but that's a neat trick that I learned for combining CSS with inline SVG. I'll drop a few articles on that in the description. Thanks for tuning in.